First Timothy 5, verse 6. But the widow, right, in NLT Salakia, but the widow who lives only for pleasure is spiritually dead, even while she lives. Right, call Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shah, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honor to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and teach well. Shalom to the old like men that scattered abroad, pushing the truth without sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And also shalom to you very few sincere sisters, right, that really take heed, right, and trying their best to get in order in these last days. Right, and brother, I'm one coming to the video, Lord, when it's edifying, right? And so going through a news article, right, from our end time headlines, right, it reads, growing number of American women are ditching marriage, right? And honestly, I see it like this. I may just, put it as the title, but hey, just watch the play. Watch the play. The Lord is setting up a beautiful play, right, to you men, because at the end of the day, it's no better laugh than the last laugh, because what are these women doing in today's society is, well, society's giving them so much so that they don't want to be bound to one man. They want to play the field. They want to do as thou will. They want to just they don't want to be up under subjection, They feel as if they pretty much, they're letting the internet destroy them, But all in all, I know for sure I'm seeing the play. I'm pretty sure you other brothers and also you few sincere sisters, I'm pretty sure we all seeing this play out in front of us, man, right? Because we know the scriptures about Micah 7 and 10, right? We know about the book of Proverbs 1, right, 22 on down, right? Because, we, us men, give correction to you sisters. And also, I'm pretty sure sisters try to, help another sister out to, like, hey, man, you need to woo, you know what I'm saying? You need to tighten up, just trying to get on that friendly advice. But, more so over, right, it's the men, right, they're really going to have that last laugh because you have men in this truth, right? They're real, right? Want to play the field, don't want to lead the man, And guess what? We know the time coming of Jacob's trouble, right? Isaiah 4:1. And this is another indicator of Isaiah 4:1 going to happen on this side as well, right? Because, hey, we're going to see the fall of these folks, man, right? We're going to see, matter of fact, let me grab that right quick. Is it Psalms? Oh, man, I think is it 16? It's Proverbs 16. Salakia. 16, 18. Right. Proverbs 16 and 18. Pride goeth for destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. And what are we seeing right now? These women want to feel that they can do it on their own. They don't need a man. They want to play the field. Right. It's the pride, man. And that's one thing that the Lord does not deal with is pride, right? The Lord is like pretty much, it's like enmity with him. He goes against that. He loves a meek spirit, but since these women want to go outside of the way of the Lord, right? And he's setting them up for a true failure, man. Right. So just, hey, don't be surprised if your woman leave, bro. Just being real. Really, hey, laugh at it, because like, if about Gucci Mane, right? He had a song, and it was like, I can't remember what song it was, but the bar was, hey, miss what next 15 wasn't coming. We come to the time of Jacob's trouble, right? To where you're going to have a completion of them, especially if you're doing the works of the Lord. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, the Lord going to bring, that's the last thing on your mind. Oh, really at this point, my bitch left me, right? Because she's a shameless woman, right? My bitch left me. Man, Lord, man, look, you're going to lose that and gain 17, if that's your lot. But it's the point, right? The Lord is setting these women up to ultimately get judged. The men having the last laugh, right? It says, in a haughty spirit before a fall, right? Let me go back to this article right quick, because it says, a growing number of American women are ditching marriage, right? Let's read some of this right quick, and I'm going to describe the rest of these scriptures, Lord willing. This is edifying, right? A notable shift has been observed in the United States in recent years. American women are increasingly opting out of marriage, And who's the one that really starts the end of a marriage? The females. Oh, they say they get bored, right? You know what I'm saying? It'd be a lot of things that they say, that they say, you know. But American women are increasingly opting out of marriage. Multiple news outlets have highlighted this trend, which reflects changing societal values, economic pressures, and evolving personal priorities. And the thing about it is, see, these motherfuckers just don't even be thinking, because when you look at how things are playing out, because a lot of these women they're leaving marriage and they being single. But look how the dollar is shifting. Look how the dollar can be obsolete. Things are going up, and you rather just hop out of a marriage when the whole time the shit don't be nothing that the man did. It just be the fact that they want more freedom, so called. You know, you're not gonna be able to survive out here by yourself, let alone the time of Jacob's trouble, right? So hey, just to you brothers, right? That they may have had a girl that was in this truth, and she walked out. You best believe that bitch gonna try to call your phone. And don't be no suck ass nigga and try to take her back either. Right? Let that bitch stay where she at. Right? Because at the end of the day, once you leave a prophet, you're not gonna find no other prophet. The Lord ain't finna just do it like that. You know? He showed her the way, which is to you. She really showed that female salvation. Right? And she chose to leave. So I always remember, like, hey, the spirit of Lot's like, hey, that bitch looked back. Don't you look back to go save her either, because you want to come back inside your presence, right? That is being real, right? Better have some nuts about yourself, some dignity, right? It says the Wall Street Journal recently published an article titled "American Women Are Giving Up on Marriage." And honestly, I'm gonna be real, like, if it fails, it fails. But hey, man, really, we in the time we shouldn't be worrying about that, man. Right? Because Paul had quoted, I think it's in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, but, it was like, if you don't have one, hey, I mean, if you do, you got to live as if you don't have one. You know what I'm saying? Because look at the times we're coming. The Lord finna, man, we finna have a lot of females coming your way. And even with them coming your way, you still got to be on point with that. They not finna come in innocent, righteous spirit. They coming because they scared. And don't tell them who running game, so, you still got to be on point. Read some more of this. The Wall Street Journal recently published an article titled "American Women Are Giving Up on Marriage." And hell, us men, I know I've been gave up on that shit. It's 2025, right? And I don't be doing no backdoor shit under that. I just see the shit that be going on. You know what I'm saying? So, man, please. There's no need to even try to get myself involved in no shit like that, right? Because they come with games and shit. I compete the game for you, run it. It says the piece details how a growing number of women are choosing to remain single, prioritizing independence, career goals, and personal fulfillment over traditional marital commitments. And that's the problem, that these females have failed as a woman, right? That's your main goal, to have a man, help this man help this man reproduce his lineage. That's your whole purpose, to serve a man. The fuck you mean a career goal, But hey, that just Esau, right? Going back to the garden, right? They go back to the garden, man. He trying to put these females in a position, and really, that's like, the phrase when you fighting someone, they be like, the taller they is, the harder they fall. That's all they doing. The Lord is finna make these females fall hard as shit, bro. That's all we seeing. We seeing the play. We seeing how the Lord is using Esau Edom to give them all these type of benefits, get them so high that when society collapse, they can't do nothing but come back to us. And you'll be a fool to try to take her back. You'll be a damn fool, right? Because she showed you her colors when the time of mercy was just open, when things were just going, coasting, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't no pressure on nothing, So in the times of shit getting real, she knows she can't hang out here by herself. So it's just all a front. We know these folks are only going with the way that Esau gave them, right? With all these extra benefits. Right. And it says career goals and personal fulfillment over traditional marital commitments. Marital commitments, so like it. Right, I ain't gonna read all of this. I'm gonna definitely leave a link though, right? Because really, it really would be the title and the picture really that be getting me on a lot of these articles, But really, once again, a growing number of American women are ditching marriage, right? But when you look at it though, that goes to show you that America got to be destroyed. Because out of all, when you live outside of America, this is what they're seeking for. Marriage. Why? Because they know it's be a shameful thing to not have a man. Right? I remember seeing a little podcast shit, right? I mean, I don't barely watch them because really them niggas be lame as hell too. But when you be scrolling, sometimes that just be like the next little ad or whatever, video, whatever, right? But the dude, no, a lady. Was a dude or a lady, but anyway, it don't matter which one. But the point was solid. I'll give it that. But it was like, okay, when y'all ladies be like 90 years old and, you got your party, you ain't gonna have no grandkids around because you so focused on your careers and shit like that. While the other lady, she's more of a marital woman, right? She wants to have kids. She wants to see her. She wants to help her man, have kids. So when she'd be a great grandma, whatever, So when she up in age, she's gonna see that what's really matter the most, that career or those kids, man. Right? But goes to show you, also, like I say, you go outside of America, man. You see, man, even within the tribes, you can go to DR, Jamaica, Trinidad. If you want to go further than that, nigga, let's go to Asia. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's a lot to choose from over there, right? South America, right? Africa. These women are what they looking for, marriage, because they understand. But see, go to show you when you feed somebody so much drink, you make them drunk, and that's what America has done to these Western women, right? So let's get into it some more inside these scriptures, man. Matter of fact, let's hit that Isaiah 4:1 right quick. Oh man, Isaiah 4:1 in NLT. In that day, so many. Let me go back some. It says, "In that day, and what will be that day? The time of Jacob's trouble, right? All hell breaking loose, right? Because we do know that is definitely coming down the pipeline. When you look up, when us prophets measure the time, we see the time of what the book of Matthew 24, nation riding against nation, right? The love of many waxing cold, right? We've seen these things play out, right? Food famine is definitely coming, right? Famine to hearing the words of the Lord, right? We seeing threats of grid collapse, right? Canada, they going back and forth if they're gonna pull the plug on America spots, the spots that they have connection with for power, right? So all hell's really finna break loose real soon. Right, it says you got wars, right? You got niggas about to be getting drafted to war, right? And thing about it is we're seeing the increase of us men, right? That's pushing this truth. We're seeing the value in us that's really going up, right? Because right now, money is the value, right? These lame ass celebrities, they have so-called value, right? People look towards them, right? But when shit start going left, right? Which we're ready for it to happen. It says, in that day, so few men will be left that 7 women will fight for each man, right? Not just any man, a man of the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right? 7 is a completion of number, right? So, hey, you may have 7, you may have 2, you may have 1. Shit, yeah, may have 20, you know what I'm saying? Whatever lot the Lord have you to take in, because you'll be their head, right? But it says, be fighting for each man, saying, let us all marry you. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take your name so we won't be mocked as old maids, right? So let us take your name, like let us be married unto you. Let's have that covenant with you. So when we mock this old maid, right? Who a woman is not supposed to be an old maid. She's supposed to be married. and like brothers have brought up plenty of times. I didn't see the video too. I had was it the Japanese or Asian girl? I can't remember her name. Chinese, one of them, right? But I think she said the word like Shangnu, right? Pretty much going to a woman that's over 30 without kids, right? You're really not valuable, man, right? So you leave your husband and you ain't never had kids, bro. You ain't got no value, man, right? Excuse me. So yeah, we know that time. So the funny thing is, like, we know these women are leaving these marriages, but the whole time it's finna get to a time period where you're gonna have to be looking for a man desperately because shit is finna go straight left, right? So kind of from there, what I was thinking. I think that's what it was, Micah 7:10. It's cool. I read it from here though. Isaiah 32:2, right? Because overall, like I said, when I just look at it, it's a growing number of American women are ditching marriage. Like I said, the Lord is setting up the play for these women to come running, right? Running. Because like I said, we see that Esau is really, setting these females up to fall, right? I'll go to 9 first, and then I go back up. It says, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease." Right? Rise up, ye women that are at ease. I'm seeing another video go up from the brothers of Arrows of Indignation. I think he just dropped 2 on back to back. But it says, "Listen up, Eve." Listen to all you women, right? Eve, Eve. Keisha, the black one really got that title for Eve, but yeah, it really represents all of them. But so-called Negro, Latina, Native, right? All y'all ass listen up, right? Because this is dead serious, right? You think leaving this man, especially a man of the Lord, all because you want to have fun and you want to so-called live your best life? You about to see this real reality check real soon, man. It says, Isaiah 32:9, "Rise up, ye women that are at ease." Right? And you at ease, you just comfortable with the thing that you want to do, right? Comfortable living in la la land, delusional. Just hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech, right? Hear what these men of the Lord are saying, like trying to guide you, to do. Staying in order, right? Staying with your husband, damn it. It says, "Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman," right? And that's a careless thing to do right there. You finna leave them, right? Because honestly, they say they leaving their husband to get a better career, right? If you got eyes to see, right? Hell, you ain't gotta have ears to hear. No, I'm just playing. But the eyes to see, you can see that this shit is circling the drain. Let alone you can hear these things, what's going on. But if you start looking at these reports, these articles, you see this shit is circling the drain. So if anything, you want to be trying to hold on to a man, right? Because they always say they want a provider, a protector. But here you have it, the world of America is circling the drain, and you talking about ditching your marriage. It should be ass backwards with these females, man. It says, "Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless woman, for the venture shall fail, and the gathering shall not come." Right. I remember, I forgot which brother did it. If I'm mistaken, it probably was the brother of Arrows of Indignation 144. Posted with all the females going crazy, losing their jobs. You know what I'm saying? Inflation whooping their ass. Right? But y'all got the nerve to say, "Hey, y'all finna ditch our marriage." Right? We come to, and guess what? And men are really holding it up better than these females when it comes to, struggling. Because we already know how Esau get down. He going to give the females a better position of opportunity of getting money than us men. But they, we know that time coming where the venture is going to fail, right? The society is going to collapse. Things not going to be moving how it once was, right? And these females that don't have no man is going to really be losing their minds. Why? Because they don't have no protection. They don't know how to really live in the field for real, right? verse 11, it says, tremble, ye women that are at ease, right? Tremble, be troubled, ye careless ones, right? Like I said, that's a careless thing to do of leaving the marriage. I remember seeing a little thing, a little clip. A girl said she left her, was it 8-year marriage? Something like that, or 5-year, something like it. Was one of them. It was some years invested, right, for opportunity to go to Miami. You know, that's how careless these females is, right? Just for attention, they'll leave their whole marriage. You know what I'm saying? And as a man, hey, if that's what you want to do, let her be. You know, let her be. In the day, you know, us men in the truth, we see it as Lot and Lot's wife, right? That bitch want to turn around, let that bitch go. You keep your eyes on the mission, right? But it says strip you and make you bare. Strip you and make you bare and gird sackcloth upon your loins, right? And that's what the Lord's going to do. The Lord's going to have these females in a. You think us men inside straits right now? He finna have these women inside some different type of straits. Come Jacob's trouble, right? And a lot of them going to be inside straits that they can't even get out of. The difficulty is going to take over them, right? They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. Who's going to be actually up in those days? The men of the Lord. Who's going to be able to eat in the days of trouble? The men of the Lord. Who's going to have protection in the day of trouble? The men of the Lord, right? But these women are already ditching these men, right? Now, you know, us men of this truth, and also, you know, just regular jakes, right? We don't really care about it, but I'm just stating the point that they're leaving a man just for their own pleasure. Right, that's why I stated in the book of 1 Timothy 5:6, she that liveth in pleasures dead while she liveth. Right? And I'm going to close out. Matter of fact, I said I'm going to read verse 2, and I'm going to go to Micah 7:10, and I'm going to close out. It says, Isaiah 32:2, and a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as the shadow of a great rock in a weary land. Right? That's beautiful because, like I said, we're seeing the play of how the Lord is going to set these females up just to fall miserably, and they're going to be trying to come look for you for us brothers. You know, and like I said, you know, it's no better laugh than the last laugh, because we're going to laugh at them. Like, damn, you really thought leaving me and going to be with X, Y, and Z was going to help you out? No. You know, and you thought you can come back? Hell no. You know. Close out with this right here in the book of Micah 7:10. Excuse me. I'm reading this at the NLT, right? Because reality is finna hit. A matter of fact, I always like the quote what the Apostle Gabar, you know, says. He's like, you can ignore reality, right? But you can't escape the consequences from ignoring reality, you know? So that's what a lot of these people doing. They just trying to ignore it. I'm going to leave him. I'm going to do what I want to do. Whole time you see food prices going up. Niggas getting ready for war. You know, but you just want to be in your own little world and goddamn do what you do, right? And disregard the times. So when the shit get real, right, you gonna hold that down on your own. It says then in the NLT it reads, Salakia, then my enemies will see that the Lord is on my side. They will be ashamed that they taunted me, saying, so where is the Lord? It says, they will be ashamed that they taunted me, saying, so where is the Lord, that God of yours? With my own eyes, I will see their downfall. They will be trampled like mud in the streets, right? Because the thing about it is, they're going to be looking for that help in that day, you know? But these women, they're looking for the help that they ran away from. And really, they're looking for the Lord. They're really going to be looking for those men of the Lord, the men of the Lord. You know, because when you reach out the NLT, I know the word's a little bit different, but then it says, then she that is my enemy shall see it, right? All hell is breaking loose. You know, niggas on her ass, heathens on her ass, animals on her ass. You know, it says, and shame shall cover her, right? She's gonna be like, damn, I should never left that man, right? This man was telling me shit's finna hit the fan, right? But also, hey, Ezekiel 33 and 33, you know, when these things shall come to pass, then shall they know that prophet have been among them. You know, they're gonna know in that day. A lot of folks gonna know in that. Everybody will know in that day, right? It says, and shame shall cover her. She's gonna feel ashamed. She'll be like, damn, I left the man of the Lord just to go have a little 5 extra days of having fun. You know, it says, my eyes shall behold her, right? Those gonna look. Same way we was gonna look. You know. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets, right? She'll be stepped on, you know. Like I always like to bring out how it was in the movie Players Club. You know what I'm saying? Cause that's what's coming to him, right? The dude Myron trying to get the Lisa Ray house. You know what I'm saying? Hey, he couldn't get inside the movie, but boy, when Jacob Trowbridge hit, hey, they definitely gonna be getting these women, man. They gonna have their way with them. They just gonna be getting, man, stepped on, man. Nobody gonna give a damn about them, you know. But so kind of like I said, man, we seeing the play. These women are the Lord is really, you know, tooting their head up a little bit. He, you know, gassing their head up a little bit more. And then boom, when shit hit the fan, that shit gonna pop. They gonna come into reality, and guess what? We're not gonna be trying to deal with them, you know. But Lord willing, it was edification out of this. All right, I'm gonna close up by giving all honor, glory, and praises to you. How about Shem, Yahweh Shai, by Shem, Kakadash, and on to the next one. Shalom.